Hi class, let us continue with our class with chapter 2, the theory on video. At the end of this chapter, you are expected to know a brief idea on theories of digital video, the format and the media. Our chapter content first is about digital video, but we will start that part with some analog information and then formats and media. Let us define video. Video is the product of the technology of capturing, recording, processing, storing, transmitting, and reconstruction of a sequence of still images representing scenes in motion of timeline. In old times, these processes are more optical because video is obviously optical in nature, but now it is more electronics. Even at the very beginning, the capturing of the video information is done using electronic solid-state devices. And the technology has evolved considerably since the late 19th century when video camera was invented, and then throughout 20th century until now, 21st century. In the late 19th century, video just means film reel, and then sometime in the mid 20th century, videotape was invented, and then during the late 20th century, there were optical discs. And in Malaysia, we experienced this with video CD first. Let us talk about analog video. This technology actually is dying off when analog terrestrial television has been phased out. But anyway, let us look back and see where we came from, and let us not forget this is also a knowledge. Analog video started with film. Film is a sequence of optically captured frames over a fixed time interval. It is the most fundamental kind of analog video where the frames are stored as whole. This is how film reel looks like. Maybe it's very hard to find nowadays. And this is how it looks like when we flatten the film. It is the most fundamental kind of analog video where the frames are stored as whole. In here, this is a frame, and the audio is attached alongside it as optical or magnetic. This is a film reel with magnetic audio attached side by side with the frame, and this one is the film reel attached with sound, but the audio information or the sound information is attached as optical information. Light will be beamed into this track and converted into sound. You see here there are two tracks, so this movie has stereo sound, and the sound information doesn't have to be the width information like this. It can be the intensity information like this track. For example, the part where it is totally black, the amplitude of sound is 0, and where there is white, the amplitude of the sound is higher. Then next in line is VHS or video home system. This also stored video information in analog format. This is how it looks like. Nowadays, as of 2020, even this VHS is very rare and very hard to find in market. Video transmission. Televideo or television is the process of viewing video from a remote location. And later, these two words become television or TV. Television, in terms of process, is the way the information of pixels in video frames are transmitted line by line, sort of pixel by pixel. Later, VHS and some optical discs that store information as analog use the same transmission scheme to store video information. In short, television is the hardware that provides remote viewing of video information. And some more technical information, the modulation of transmission. For TV, video is transmitted as AM and sound is transmitted as FM. That is why when there was analog TV, we can actually hear the voice of the TV broadcast using FM radio. Next, the concept of frame rate. Video frame rate refers to the number of frames being displayed per second. Human eye's retina retains the image that falls on it for 1/8 second. It is 0.125 second or 125 millisecond. So if we change the image at the rate higher than 8 frames per second, human eyes will perceive it as a smooth motion. We will not see the change between the frame, but we will perceive it as movement. Hence, the minimum video frame rate good for human eyes is 8 frames per second. For modern digital videos, the choice are either 23.976 frames per second, 25 or 30 frames per second. Let us divert a little bit to talk about silent movie. Why do the actors in silent movie move fast? You can go to this page. A very good explanation is given in this page. In early 1920s, the silent movie cameras was rolled manually by hand. Can you imagine that? This is a sample picture of it. This is modern video camera. This is the silent video camera that is actually moved manually by hand. You can see the cameraman here is moving, is rotating this lever here. So because of that, we cannot make standard frame rate, because how can we fix the movement of human hand? So because of that, the frame rate during that time was around 16 frames per second to 22 frames per second. When audio was added to film in late 1920s, 24 frames per second was used as standard because this is the slowest rate to produce decent sound. So this standard was used due to sound quality. And because of that, we need machine or a motor to roll the film so that the frame rate is consistent. And because of that, all silent movies shot before sound movie are run faster than the rate they were recorded. And because of that, the actors appeared to move fast. Does that answer that question to you? Let us go more into detail about how analog video waveform looks like. This is already quite deep into analog technology, but let us digest this information only at the surface level. Not only digital video has the concept of pixel, analog video also has the idea of pixel, because the information of analog video are transmitted row by row, pixel by pixel. You can see here, this is a sample of analog video. The information being transmitted is done line by line. This line, for example, will have a waveform that looks like this. This is the information of the pixel, this one, and it is surrounded by synchronizing waveform like this, and then also ended at the end like this, and the next row or the next line will be transmitted over here. And because there are hundreds of lines in one frame, there will be many waveform of this shape being transmitted like this. This is one line. Actually, this waveform being compressed horizontally, so it looks sharper, and this one. But then, when we finish transmitting all row or all line, we need to go back to the beginning, and that is what we call vertical synchronization. This is how it looks like. There will be hundreds of this pattern of waveform being transmitted. After that, when we finish all line, we need a vertical synchronization waveform that looks like this, so that the display of the video will go to the next frame. It goes back in here, and then the next video frame will be displayed again or transmitted again. So that is how complicated analog video waveform looks like. And then let us look at how we have changed from analog to digital. The transition. Late 19th century was silent movie. Early middle of 20th century, we started with sound movie in film and TV form. And then somewhere in the middle of 20th century, we have seen color film and television. And until the mid of 20th century, the format of video was still in analog form. And sometime in the late 20th century and until now, we start to see digital video, started with CD and DVD as the media, and also satellite transmission. And then beginning of this century, we start to see IPTV, internet streaming, and 3D movies, thanks to the digital format that started to appear in late 20th century. Then format also have to change. In analog, the format was film and VHS, TV and laserdisc. Even though it is laser and in form of disc, but it is in analog form. For film, there is no standard. And for TV and VHS, we had PAL, NTSC, and cycle. If you have ever fine-tuned your own analog TV, you may have come across these standards in your TV manual. And in digital, we have at least 3 standards: MPEG 1, MPEG 2, MPEG 4. With this digital standard, we have VCD that carry MPEG 1, and after that, there were DVD, Blu-ray, and satellite TV. Some of them MPEG 2, some of them MPEG 4, and MPEG 4 is mostly the one that's used in IPTV and internet streaming. That is why the best video format that is uploadable to YouTube is actually MPEG 4.